Good morning, everybody, and thank you very much for being here. Senator Andrew Rohrbeck and myself wanted to convene this press conference to explain our opposition to an item that is going to be placed on the State Bond Commission agenda on the Monday, June 4th meeting. That item, as many of you know and has been widely reported, is a $300,000 bond allocation for the New Haven People Center, an organization in the city of New Haven that has inherently political ties and an organization that we do not believe should be the beneficiaries of state taxpayers' dollars. As you know, in the last month's Bond Commission meeting, the item was pulled from the agenda. There was great concern on the part of many commission members and many taxpayers throughout the public who did not think that we should be funding an inherently political organization with state taxpayers' dollars. We were only made aware of this issue because somebody from Wethersfield, who used to work for the state of Connecticut, happened to send an email to the members of the Bond Commission and suggest that this was an inappropriate use of state tax dollars and that the item should be pulled. The item was subsequently pulled. There were many questions from members of the media regarding why it was pulled and what the documentation supporting the need for this project was, and we, lo and behold, have it back on our agenda here for the Monday meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, we do not believe that political organizations, those that are partisan in nature or very political in nature, should be receiving tax dollars. Senator Rohrbeck and I have argued for many months now that the state of the state's economy is so deplorable that we cannot afford to be spending money frivolously like we are poised to do on Monday, and that the state's credit card should not be used to finance this type of improvement. I have every confidence that the people who run this organization are good and decent people. They have every right to have whatever political beliefs they have, just as we all do as Americans. That's the beauty of America. But that does not entitle them to be the recipients of tax dollars to prop up those political activities, and that is exactly what is going to happen on Monday if the Bond Commission does not reject this allocation. It's a long history of political activism that has happened out of this building, and God bless them. They should be able to do whatever they want with their own money and going out and raising those dollars. But I have a significant objection to that specific piece of their activity, because this is, as Andrew said, a partisan newspaper. That's what's happening. And by the way, I would feel the same way if the Yankee Institute or some free market think tank was applying for dollars, state tax dollars. I don't think they ever would, but I would have the same objection if there was any partisan activity happening out of a building that we are financing renovations for. The bottom line here is that this is not a function of state government. To Christine's question, I did object last month to the political nature, and I think, like Andrew said, we keep saying this is a communist, there's communist involvement, et cetera. That just happens to be the fact. That happens to be their political tie. But as Andrew said, it could be Republican ties, it could be Democrat ties, it could be free market ties. We should not be financing any organizations that promote partisan activity, and that's what we're doing here. So, I understand that there may be some things that they do in this building that are of benefit to society, but we don't know, for example, whether they exclude organizations that have different political leanings from utilizing the property. We don't know that you can just walk in and use the building for a meeting. We don't know any of that information, and we don't know any more about it today than we did last month. This happens to be sort of the epitome. It epitomizes what is wrong with state government, that we are frivolously spending state taxpayers' dollars on an organization like this. So there are certain earmarks or Bond Commission authorizations that rise to a different level. I think the busway, in our minds, rises to a different level than certain other smaller, less controversial items. And I think it's our job as legislators and as members of the Bond Commission to bring to light exactly what state government is doing.